Good evening, my friends. How's everybody? Hope everyone's had a good Saturday. I'm doing some Eviscerator Death Company tonight. I'm gonna start with some red. We'll probably want some Mechanicus Standard Grey. We might want some Dawnstone. Might want some Zandri Dust as well. Mechanicus Standard Grey. Dawnstone. Alright, 4 colours, that should be enough to get started. I'm going to start with some red, I think. Oh, James. James is on the mission to prime those new Sangre Guard. Cool. How have you liked the new models? I obviously don't have the new models yet. I only ordered the Combat Patrol this morning, I must admit. I guess I'm gonna field my own my old Sangre Guard for a while, so yeah, I think for like the next 6 months probably I'm just gonna keep fielding old Sangre Guard models. I'm not entirely sure like what all I'm prioritizing. I might prioritize suppressors. When will I get an airbrush? Never. Never, ever, ever, ever. Yeah, never. I don't think it's even on my bucket list, man. The new Eviscerators look cool. Well, one is the Games Workshop Eviscerator, one is a Grey Tide Studio Eviscerator, so I have both. Maybe we'll start with the Grey Tide one. Don't think it makes a huge difference which model I start with. Spike, what's up? Hope everyone got their pre-order in yesterday. Well, here in the UK, the pre-order was this morning. I think it was midnight last night in America. But yeah, hopefully people got the pre-order. The Combat Patrol was a pretty decent price in the UK, $80, which I think is fine. I think that's reasonably decent. I think. Folk built 3 gladiators today. Very cool. Why 3? We don't see no, I was going to say we don't see any lists with like 3 gladiators in them. I guess reasons to build 3. You just wanted 3. I mean, I guess it future proofs them a little bit, huh? I think I need a thicker. I'm just going to start with some base coats. There's a bit of a bigger brush here, actually. So did some people must have got their new models today then, and some people like me pre-ordered the Combat Patrol today, huh? Anyone get the Sanguinor today? What is his head like? Because I feel like there was a lot of debate online about his head, and if his head was good or bad. The Games Workshop paint job didn't show it in the best light, right? I didn't actually order the Sanguinor or the Sanguinary Priest just because those are 2 characters that I don't run at all at the moment. I mean, I might run them at some point in the future, but at the moment I don't run them at all, so I figure I'll come back to them maybe one day. I was going to say, I don't really have high hopes for this Angry Priest in his current on-foot version. Mike got the Sanguinar. What do you think, Mike? Two Scoops got the Codex today. The head is fine, but attached... I saw that the Sanguinar's head was attached in a really strange way. It's like it's got that whole bit that it could have attached to, but instead they attached it to his hair. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure I understand why they chose that. Maybe someone was literally trawling. I don't know why they would have chose that. Good evening, Hyde. Do you think it's possible to build named character with the dark tide bits? You mean the grey tide bits? I don't see why it wouldn't be. There's a lot of customization on those grey tide bits. I feel like you could totally make your own characters with them, or you could make named characters with them, or a good approximation of them, right? I was going to say, I need to shake this Mephiston Red a bit more. I'm not happy with the consistency that came out the pot. You got a priest today for the Lamenter's Force, okay. And the Sanguinar might be better for the Angel's Host detachment. I mean, I think he's still good in the Blood Angels detachment. He just doesn't really suit my playstyle, I think. I think if I'm going to build a Fight First unit, I'm just going to build a super horrific to deal with Fight First unit. I don't think I want to be messing around with, like... the handful of attacks the Sanguinar gets, like maybe 7 attacks or something. I'd much rather have like 30 attacks from Blade Guard with Fight First. I think that's much more, or Terminators. But some people really rate the Sanguinar. He probably works better in those all melee Blood Angels lists, but I don't really, well, I don't follow the school of thought of running like the full melee builds. I quite like having some shooting in my list and making it a bit more balanced. Personal preference. A-Foot1 says I really can't get myself to get the new minis. Well, that's why I didn't rush out to get the new minis, because basically all the new minis are just scaled up versions of the old stuff, right? Like very... like what's actually new? I guess the Death Company Dreadnought is the new thing. So no, I can totally understand that you've already got all those minis. I mean, I plan on playing with all my old minis for a while yet. Like 6 months to a year, maybe even longer. I actually have Astaroth right off camera. I did consider putting him on, like, this is just going to be a batch job of painting 2 guys at once, like 2 guys with eviscerators. I did consider putting Astaroth on the painting table tonight as well, and I was like, do you know what, I'm just going to keep using my Firstborn Astaroth for a while. I'd rather get some other stuff finished. I may actually go paint some suppressors. I've got some half-finished ones. They seem like they might be worth a try with the new rules, right? I do like it when they make changes that bring a unit that's never had any, like literally suppressors have never had any play. So I do like it when they make a change that brings a unit that's never had any play, like into people's minds, or at least gives them something, you know, something to be excited about. I don't know. I'm excited to try some suppressors. Once you build the new Sanguinary Guard, you'll not want to use the old ones. I don't know about that. The old ones are like classic and nostalgia, are they not, James? I think that's maybe a bit of a heretical way of thinking about it. I think I'm going to have to convert the new ones though, because I don't like the fact that they don't have jump wings. I feel like Sangre Guard should have and always will have, in my mind, will have wings, not those little like fins that they've given them. I even gave Dante wings, a set of wings. Hold on, I can hear one of my kids right outside the door. My wife's out tonight, so I'm looking after the kids, and one kid's asleep and one kid's cavorting around. One sec. What's happening, honey? No, Mummy's not home yet. Mum won't be home till midnight, sweetheart. You told me you were going to be cavorting tonight. Okay. Arksome, good evening. Eternal Crusader, good evening. How you doing? There's been some awesome conversions using Stormcast wings. I actually haven't really seen many people using the Stormcast wings. I've seen some pictures of the Crimson Tide, Grey Tide wings, sorry. And this model here actually is quite a few Grey Tide pieces on. I've seen some people have been getting, I guess, unfortunately unlucky. They've been getting some really bad sculpts from Only Games. They were the guys that were selling the 3D parts, or the printed parts from Grey Tide, and it looks like some people have had, like, there was 2 posts on Reddit in the last couple of days that showed like some really low quality prints, but then one guy did say he got replacements, but it's more like the fact that they even sent out some really low quality stuff that's a bit worrying. So I'll see what happens when mine gets here. Yeah, I think we'll see a lot of people using 3D parts for the new Sangre Guard. But I mean, even more so, I suppose, when the Kickstarter for Grey Tide finishes on the 26th and everybody gets their STL files, right? Because I was lucky enough to get some of those jump packs already, and some of them are gorgeous. Yeah, I saw a lot of people talking about Archie's Forge. I must admit, I've never bought from Archie's Forge. Where is it located? Like, is it European or is it American? Oh, it's in the UK? Okay. Well, I can tell you, if my pieces arrive and they're as bad as the ones that were on Reddit, I'm going to be asking for a refund. And then I'll buy from Archie's Forge. Sorry, Snicks, what was your question? Oh, they moved the campaign up, did they? Okay. Well, maybe the campaign's done so well they're happy enough to end it. Howdy, Frank. I mean, with Games Workshop no longer really offering Death Company pieces, we're going to have to do something to get Death Company pieces now, aren't we? It's going to be third party or no Death Company pieces. I have very few Death Company pieces left over, and I bought like a couple of official ones on eBay, but once these ones are gone, I could probably make like 10 more Death Company models, and then I'm going to have to start searching for third party stuff. I actually find it kind of mad that Games Workshop didn't foresee the fact that like a lot of people would want Death Company and Sangre Guard pieces. Like, Like, I don't know how they missed that market. Because it was obviously, like, it's their market, it's literally there. They just didn't tap into it or something. Especially, like, the amount of people that said, like, I think maybe the numbers were overinflated, but I know that, like, a bunch of people, like in the region of a couple of hundred, emailed Games Workshop saying they were unhappy with the new Sangre Guard models. Like the heads, the wings, or the lack of wings. Like, I thought it might have been even more than that, but I guess maybe people were just vocal and didn't actually email Games Workshop even though they said they did. Is Angelic Host viable at all? I mean, I think it is. Hello Marius. Are you sure you've got your notifications set to all for the Blood Angels Commander channel? You know how to check that, right? Or do you need me to show you how to check it, Marius? GW only deal products that make hundreds of thousands. You know that they made over 100,000 on that SDL campaign, right? I actually don't know what it was at. Let me see if it'll load. Yeah, they made 123,000 on that SDL campaign. Oh, I just realised I didn't have my camera on. Hello. I was hiding all that time. Yeah, they made 123,000 selling SDLs. 4 days left. Yeah, you know, like, here's the new Death Company. This is how tall they are. Here's the old Death Company. A little bit of difference in size, huh? It's been so long since I painted a Death Company, I honestly needed to go and pull one out of my drawer, because I was like, how do I paint Death Company again? Tactical rocks. Yeah, whatever, I guess. I made some without the tactical rocks just because I converted a bunch of regular assault intercessors. And I guess I've got even more regular assault intercessors now with the combat patrol. Like, the number of assault intercessors I have now is just stupid. I mean, it was stupid before this release, and then I basically got to add like another 30. I don't mind the tactical rocks all that much. They're fine. They add a little bit of height, does it matter? I mean, in the new terrain setup, I think it very rarely matters, actually. You should expect a bling upgrade later, says James. No, I mean, we'll all have made and converted our guys using 3D prints by the time the bling upgrade comes, I guess, James. I mean, half this guy's a shoulder pad, his sword, his jump pack, his helmet are all 3D prints for this guy here, I guess. I would say this is maybe why Games Workshop don't ever don't ever collaborate with me, but I know other channels that do 3D stuff and they get collaborated with, so I think maybe I'm just not. There must be something I'm not understanding. It's fine. I'm just happy that I've got some red X's. I fucking hate freehanding red X's. So being able to just paint them on the shoulder pad is so much nicer than trying to freehand them. How do I update my list for the list video? You go back and edit your YouTube, your comment, I guess, when you put it in. Here's the thing, though, right? And I guess this is kind of important. I possibly should have started tonight's stream by saying that. There has been probably 100 list submissions since the new points. So, if you submitted a list this last week, there's a pretty good chance you're not getting on the show this weekend. Because I can do about 7 lists on a Sunday night. And I've had about 100 submissions. And when the submissions get heavy like that, here's the kicker, right? Channel members are going to get priority. Because channel members support the channel every month. You know, it's only like $3 to become a member, but hey, it makes a big difference to me, so... yeah, there's been like 100 submissions. Honestly, if you go through and look at my YouTube comments, it's just submission after submission after submission. It's ridiculous. It's more submissions than I've ever had in my life. So it's going to take me a little while. Like, I honestly think I could probably go live for the entirety of Sunday. Not that that's possible, but I probably could go live for the entire day and probably still not get through all the submissions. So, yeah, if you're channel members, you're going to get first priority. Patreon's up there as well, and then we'll come back. But yeah, it's going to be a little while before I get through everybody. It's crazy. AFOC making sure that I know he's a member. Yep, thanks AFOC. We know. Basically when you make the comment, it shows me in the YouTube backend if it's a member or not, or a Patreon. So, dude, thanks so much for the membership though, I do appreciate it. But yeah, it's good. It's good that the channel's this. The channel has never been this busy in my entire thing with YouTube. You know, like the channel's grown beyond my wildest dreams as well, right? Like I thought maybe we can get a couple of thousand subscribers. Like James was saying at the start of the stream, we will. We probably. YouTube analytics tells me I'll have 20,000 subscribers in 100 days, and that's kind of, it's a mind-blowing number, honestly. But yeah, it means that like when there's new rules and stuff, it's hard to answer everyone's comments. It's hard to do everybody's army list. Well, it'd be impossible unless I made this my full-time job. But I think I'm a long ways away from that. Hello, Jim. A capitalist swine? Am I a capitalist swine? Dude, I'm trying to take my kids to Disneyland, man. That shit's crazy expensive. So yeah, I'm gonna give channel members priority. Sorry, James. You're a channel member anyway, what are you bitching about? You know, this is the first time I've actually got round to painting one of these grey-tide shoulder pads with the X on it, though. But I think it's pretty nice. It's gonna stand out, that's for sure. This guy's also got an X on his head, his head plate. I was gonna say his helmet. Would you do this full time if you could? Yeah, but I mean, I'd need to make like so much money. It's ridiculous, right? Because I don't know. I think for me it will always be a hobby. I think the only way I could ever do it full time is like I'd have to do videos on every single chapter, or I'd have to. I'm trying to take them to Paris, man. So neither Los Angeles or Florida. We do have a Disneyland here in the not the UK, in Europe. So I'm going to take them to Paris. Am I still playing Space Marine 2? No, man, I'm not. I must admit, I'm pretty disappointed with Space Marine 2. I felt like, I mean, the campaign was cool-ish. I got nothing negative to say about the campaign, but for me, it's the multiplayer where, like, games like that keep you playing, because you only complete the campaign once, right? And then you're kind of done with it. So it's just like, oh, there's my daughter out of bed again, hold on. Yes, Annabella? What are you saying? Something's wrong with your blanket. One second. Kids. Oh, Terrence. Did I ever get to the point with the Sanguinius statue? No, I don't think I did. Operations are fantastic. Yeah, I wanted the PvP to be fantastic to Robert, and maybe I'm wrong in maybe I'm wrong in thinking the PvP would be awesome or wanting the PvP to be awesome. But I mean that to me that's I don't mind PvE games like that, and I mean I do play PvE games, but I just for a first-person shooter, I feel like, well, I mean it's not first person, is it? Technically it's like third person, but I feel like for a shooter I want the PvP to be like, the PvP is the thing that I want to just jump into every night. Like, I don't need to find a squad, I don't need to wait until certain people are online, I can just jump in PvP, and I just felt like I tried to make a video about that, saying that there was like a lot wrong with PvP, but the video didn't get very many views. I think I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, maybe I was too nice, right? Like, 'cause I didn't want to make the video sound like I was just slamming the game or being harsh on the game. But maybe if I'd just been harsh and just, it would have got more views. I didn't want to be harsh though, right? Like, I wanted to just be amicable. But I mean, sometimes I guess if you shout the loudest, you get heard. I don't know, man. Because I did think I could have easily called it something like really contentious, like that would, like, YouTube is a platform where videos that are like negative and will get a lot of views because they like prey on like human emotion, you know? Whereas like positive stuff doesn't always get the same sort of uptake, but like I kind of hate that. But I guess that is what, you know. Who was it? Brandon was asking, like, would I do this full time? I mean, like, I guess that's a good, like, I could make a lot more money on YouTube, right? If I just made videos that were like, oh my god, Games Workshop have done this. Because I see other YouTubers do it. There's just negative content after negative content, because it gets clicks and it gets views, but I don't like it, man.
Terrence Watkins donated $5 via Super Chat. Hey John, how are you? Lot of new units need paint. What do you think of triple warglaives 150 each? I think Ark and Cheese with Locust and Bell.
Oh, triple warglaive in an Angelic host list. I mean, one of the things that Angelic host really struggles with is killing vehicles, and like, warglaives can and will do that. That's interesting, it's not something I'd considered. I mean, I guess I kind of thought that some people might do like Gladiator Lancers or something. Space Marine 2 is a massive jobby. I mean, that would have probably got clicks, right? Molyneux won his first match with the new codex. Congrats, dude. I actually think the new codex is probably stronger than Sons of Sanguinius, just because I think we have more options now, right? Like in Sons of Sanguinius, you just wanted to fight on death all the time, and it was kind of like Red Rampage and fight on death. You didn't really want to be doing much else. So I actually think that the new codex has like more options and is probably going to be more fun and stronger in the long term, so like I'm pretty happy with the new codex, I must admit. Thanks so much, Terrence, for the 5 super chat. Do appreciate it. Yeah, I think I hadn't actually considered armature slash war glaives for Angelic host, but I mean, it's a good point that they would probably be quite nice with the Angelic host, with all the Angelic host's shenanigans going on elsewhere. War glaives are good, like strength 12 AP4 Melta is actually really nice for 150 points, and they're not half bad in melee either. Like I've run 3 war glaives as a tournament. Are these custom Death Company jump packs? Yeah, these are the grey tide ones, man. The campaign is over on like my mini factory. It's like finishing in like 4 days. I did a couple of videos on they're called Crimson Lords. But yeah, this guy has a custom Death Company jump pack, shoulder pad, head, and eviscerator. So all 4 of those pieces are grey tide. I reckon the Lost Brethren will get better with time. Yeah, I think I'm going to be playing the Lost Brethren this Wednesday. I'll need to double check, but there could be like my first ever game with Lost Brethren on Wednesday. I haven't built a list for Wednesday, but I mean, it'll be a baptism of fire, right? You're never going to be that strong with your first game with a detachment. So yeah, I figured that maybe we'll have a Death Company. Maybe it'll be Death Company Lost Brethren this Wednesday. I need to double check with my opponent, but that's the plan anyway. Good evening, Phil. How you doing? Dale, have you heard about the on-foot captain with rage-fueled warrior assault intercessors? Yeah, I mean, it's super strong. I mean, the on-foot captain with assault intercessors was already super strong before they gave him rage-fueled warrior, right? If you use Oath of Moment with him and fish for devastating wounds, it's probably one of the strongest combos that we have. For points anyway, like it could just about wreck anything. I haven't seen the video that who's it, Northern Knights Gaming has done on him, but I mean, I know it's a super strong combo. Like if you've got 10 points to spend in Liberator Assault Group, you can do a lot worse than take that Rage-Fueled Warrior. You can put it on just about any character. I guess it works really well on that Firstborn character that already has not. Sorry, that on-foot character that already has potentially 9 attacks, right? You really want to use it on your Oath of Moment though, because you want to re-roll every, like, you want to roll all 9 dice. Let's say you roll 2 6s. You want to re-roll all the other 7, even if a bunch of them are hits. You want to re-roll them, because every potential 6 is like just bursting into 3, right? So yeah, I think it's a great combo. I'll be surprised. I mean, I don't have it in my list right now. I mean, maybe I should have. But yeah, I foresee. I mean, I'm getting my second impulsor. Mike said he was painting it today for me, so it's on the commission table. So maybe once I get my second impulsor, because I'm actually really liking Blade Guard at the moment. Could you elaborate a bit on the Warglaive use? Well, yeah. I mean, I don't see why I couldn't elaborate on it. It's pretty simple, dude. Is you're allowed to attach Imperial Knights. And you can, if you take Warglaives, you're allowed to put 3 of them in your list because they come in like a squad. Maybe they don't come in a squad, but you can put 3 into your list. I can't. It's somewhere. I'm not entirely sure where it says that, but basically, they're a toughness 10, 3 up, 5 up against ranged, 12 wound, 8 OC. Armature, they're like the small knights. You get them in boxes of 2s, so they look like this. They've got a melta gun and they've got a big chain sword. The melta gun is it's the thermal spear. Strength 12, AP 4. Melta 4, so if you're within 12 inches you get to add 4 to your damage, which is kind of insanity, right, honestly. And then their melee is 4 attacks at strength 10, AP 3, 3 damage. Or 8 attacks at strength 8, -2, 1, and if you made a charge move, you're sustained 1 on your melee. I mean, the knight can also have a stubber or a melta gun, if I'm correct. Yeah, it can have a stubber or a melta gun. I mean, you probably either choice is fine. You don't take them for the stub or the melter gun. You take them for the thermal spear and the Reaper chain cleaver, and the fact they're only 150 points, and they have a 5-up invuln save at ranged attacks. You know, but the fact that if you're within 12 inches, these are strength 12, AP 4, flat 4 bonus from the melta is crazy. If you cannot find where it says you can take 3 of them, I'm trying to think where it says that. Is it in the core rules or is it in the Knights Codex? Does anyone remember where it tells you about where you can actually, or how you actually include, like, mustering the armigers in your army list? Because I think it used to be called the rule used to be called Wandering Hero. But I don't. Maybe it still is called Wandering Hero. It's in the Knight Codex. Is it still called Wandering Hero? I didn't buy the Knights Codex in 10th edition. I must admit. I actually took 3. I took 3 Armiger Warglaives to a tournament in 9th edition, though. I think there was a season in 9th edition where Blood Angels were really, really bad and really, really struggling, and that's when I took the 3 Armigers. I actually did alright. The fact that they're OC8 is really nice as well. You know, like... yeah, I mean, OC8 is just really cool for 150 points, I guess. And their OC doesn't profile when they're low on wounds, so they're always, like, they're standing on the objective with 1 wound, they're still OC8. Ollie says, if you're getting into Blood Angels for the first time, where would you start? If you can't get hold of the starter box, then I would just get the new Combat Patrol. It came out for pre-order today, Ollie. It's got 6 Sangry Guard, which are good. It's got the Blood Angels Captain, which is good. It's got Assault Intercessors on foot, which are also good. And you get like 540 transfers, and you get you get an upgrade sprue as well. So right, like the Combat Patrol literally came out for pre-order today. You pre-order it today, you'll get it in 2 weeks' time. Like, if you've got nothing and you're just starting Blood Angels, there's literally no negative really to buying the Combat Patrol. I just bought it today as well, and I've got fucking tons of Blood Angels, so it's good enough for old players, I guess, because it includes a new Sangry Guard. It's also good for new players. New players are going to need Sangry Guard anyway, so yeah, buy the new Combat Patrol, and then think about maybe buying Commander Dante, because he synergizes really nice with the Sangry Guard inside it, right? Is it 2 upgrade sprues? I thought it was just 1 upgrade sprue in the Combat Patrol. But maybe I'm wrong. I thought it was just 1. Yeah, and I mean, I've got affiliate links in the video description typically, so if you're in the UK or the US, you can get some money off, and you can also support the channel when you purchase, so there you go. That's what I would do. That's where I'd start. Yeah, I mean, if you buy the Combat Patrol, you're saving yourself like a good amount of money, right? I've got a bunch of the old jump packs to turn Assault Intercessors and Jump Pack Intercessors. Well then, there you go. You kind of do want to have at least 5 Assault Intercessors on foot. Right, because there is like a play right now where you have a captain with 5 Assault Intercessors on foot that is crazy strong. But any more than 5, like I've got 10 Assault Intercessors on foot painted, and I feel like I never use all 10 in my list. Like I'll use 5 quite consistently, but I never use 10. So I think if you've got 5 Assault Intercessors on foot, you're good, then I would get jump packs onto the rest of them. And now we can take Eviscerators and with Death Company, which is literally what I'm painting right now. We haven't been allowed to take Eviscerators for Death Company. So I played Warhammer like 2nd, 3rd and 4th edition. Had a break, maybe like 5th and 6th, then came back 7th, 8th and 9th, and I don't think I've ever been allowed Death Company to have Eviscerators. I think scouts used to be allowed eviscerators. Was that right? I think the scouts used to be allowed to take an eviscerator, but I don't think the Death Company were ever allowed. 20 jump pack intercessors without tactical rocks. Yeah, I mean, I don't think you need to build them with the tactical rocks. I don't hate the tactical rocks, but I don't think they need them. I built like 8 the other night without tactical rocks, because I'm converting a lot of the on-foot ones into jump ones. I mean, eviscerators look awesome, but in reality they're like a poor man's power fist, right? I mean, they're so similar to the power fist. It actually, to me, it feels kind of redundant to have eviscerators, because it's like they are just power fists, essentially. Like, they're 90% the same profile as the power fist, but I guess I suppose it's nice to give them a bit of unique flavor. Big ass chain swords. Who doesn't like a big ass chain sword, right? How do you go about getting affiliate links? Peter says I was in Canada and he knows of a place. Normally you contact, like, normally you would send an email to the distributor and say, hey, I'd like to be an affiliate and I'll promote your site. If you know somewhere, Peter, feel free to DM me on Discord and I can reach out. I suppose it also depends on what my audience is like in Canada. I'm not sure if I can see from my YouTube analytics. Let me see if it'll tell me what my audience in Canada is like. Audience. It's probably going to be like 1% Canadian or something. Oh no, apparently 5% of my viewership comes from Canada. Apparently 33% comes from the States, 20% comes from the UK, 5% Canada, 5% Australia, 5% Germany. So I guess it would, like, I have a very small following in Canada, I guess. I just got my Crimson Lord pledge. Thanks for the referral, bud. Super excited to start printing these. That's great, Mike. Glad to hear it. I'll be using Grey Tide to convert Assault Intercessor to Death Company with jump packs. I just think that, Ben says, unpopular opinion, Death Company are still good. I mean, I'm still going to be using Death Company, man. I think I'm still using 10 of them in my list. I used 10 of them in my tournament list earlier this year, where I won the GT. I'm going to keep using 10 of them. When I won the GT, I had them as 2 5s. But I think now I'm going to run them as 110. But they might bring Death Company down a couple of points in like the next balanced data slate. I think they're probably a little bit harsh for where they are, but I think you can still use them for sure. They should have just ditched the Power Fist entirely and allowed you to take all eviscerators for simplicity. Simplicity would have been nice. You are right, Marius. You know, one of the things they try to do with, like, 10th edition and that is make the game a little bit more simple. Oh, here comes another super chat. It's Terrence again. Thank you, Terrence.
Terrence Watkins donated $5 via super chat. Hot take: 10-man DC or bust. 5-man are dead since SG is 5 points more. I'm Team Astoris, but I'm going to test Lamartez. Hopefully he gives enough damage.
Well, I think the great thing about Lamartez is his lethal hits actually work really well with the reduced with the reduced number of like strength of the attacks, right? Because lethal hits mean like you can reroll your hits. So for like your chain swords, you can just reroll every single hit looking for 6s for the lethals. So I think like in a way, I think Lamartez is actually still really good. What was the start of that one? Hot take: 10-man Death Company or bust. Yeah, I kind of agree. I think 10-man Death Company is the way to play the Death Company now. I think that the 5-man squad is much weaker. I think there might still be some play around like the 5-man with the chaplain. It's just not going to be able to jump into anything. But like if you've got 200 points left and you're not sure what to take, 5-man death company with a chaplain with a jump pack. It's not horrific. It's still going to kill some stuff. Just won't kill quite as much as it did before. But it could still be a rapid ingress unit. It could still be a reserve unit that you just throw in. I'm kind of okay with it. But yeah, I'm going to be playing 10-man death company. Budgie says hello to Germany. Hello Germany, how you doing? There's loads of funny speaking Canadians in the Discord. Fair enough. Yeah, send me the retailer in Canada, Peter, that you know that maybe does affiliate stuff, and I can reach out to them. It would be nice to have like contacts, even if I don't get an affiliate code. It might just be nice to link people a store where you get good discounts. Because that was the one thing that I had for ages, right? Like Element Games in the UK, it's really good for discounts. You know, they give like 20% off everything, and then they give you crystals every time you buy that can rack up and stuff like that. So if nothing else, it is nice to just... And Element Games are always way under retail, right? That's why I use them. I don't care that someone was upset yesterday, I think, that like Element Games didn't dispatch... Maybe it was a new Sangreal. They didn't dispatch them on time, so they're going to be like a day or two late. But I was like, I usually am quite okay waiting a day or two if it means that it's 20% less, right? Like, it's quite a lot of money, 20%. But you know, I think you can run Astrath or Lamartis. I think both are strong choices. I don't necessarily think that one of them is the be all and end all. Like, I think both of them are good. I would run either in my lists right now. The only reason I'm really on Astrath is because like I tried him out. I'm probably just trying him out, but he's slightly cheaper. I mean, if you're going to rapid ingress, then I feel like he's a slightly better choice, because if you're always going to get your alpha strike, i.e. you're always going to be the one charging, having the dev wounds on charging can be pretty nice. Astrath's axe got a lot better as well. So yeah, I'm quite enjoying playing Astrath at the moment.
War Thunder donated $5 via Super Chat. John, I took your advice to company champions and ordered one yesterday. I'm excited.
War Thunder, thank you. I ordered my company champions. Nice. Dude, they're awesome. They're so awesome. And not enough people play the company champions, honestly. I honestly want to credit, like, I think the reason that I won, one of the reasons I probably won that GT is in 2 or 3 games my company champions just did amazing, and no one had any experience playing against them. And sometimes just taking a unit that no one's got any experience playing against is enough to like throw people off. So I really enjoyed them. Good for you, man. I think you'll be surprised at how useful you'll find the company champions. I'm glad you enjoyed the video on this week, Jason. Honestly, it's kind of weird, right? Like, I made that video and I thought that video could go one of 2 ways, really, Jason, because I knew the new points costs were coming. So I actually sat with like a blank bit of paper on like Monday for like an hour trying to figure out what video I was going to make, because I was like, I don't want to make a video that's like basically instantly useless because of the new points coming out. And I had a few ideas and I went back and forth and I finally settled on, right, we're going to do a video about like the unpopular stuff, right? I'm going to make this video, and I like started to commit to it. And then like an hour into the video, I was thinking to myself like, yeah, this video is not a good idea. It's not going to work. I'm not really happy about making this video, but I feel like I was at the point of no return, right? Because I only have a limited amount of time in the week. And I always want to put out a video on Friday, so like if I'm an hour or 2 hours into it, and it took me an hour to even come up with the idea, And basically, like, the time I spent on Friday's tactics video was somewhere between like 6 and 8 hours. So if I'm 3 hours in, I can't really throw away what I've got, because I'm not going to have time to make a video again if I've got to start from scratch. So I threw, you know, like, so I just went, made the video and thought, you know, like, I'm not sure. The video was made though, let's release it, because otherwise there'd be no point in doing all that work if we're not going to release it. And what's funny is, like, the YouTube algorithm is such a fickle thing that video smashed it. It's like my best video out of the last 10 videos I've made. YouTube tells me, because YouTube ranks your videos in the back end, they'll tell you, like, they basically rank it from 1 to 10, saying like 1, it's the best video you've made in the last 10 videos, and 10 means it's the worst video you've made in the last 10. And like, it was a 1. And like, it's friggin' hard to make 1s, because you have to make videos that are like everybody wants to watch. So it was a very pleasant surprise to get this week's tactics video as a 1, when I was like, the new points are coming out and I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to speak about. Do you have any auto-includes in your army right now? Yeah, probably, Gabriel. Dante plus the Sangre Guard. I've been running Dante plus a maximum size squad of Sangre Guard for, like, since the start of June, I think it was. Maybe whatever the balance status late was in June, I've been running Dante plus his 6 Sangre Guard. I'm really on Team Dante these days, I guess. It just seems like every game he can pull something out of the bag or perform really, really well. So yeah, I think the one thing I wouldn't probably compromise at the moment on is, like, even if Sangre Guard had remained at 50 points per model, I think I was going to be running Dante plus the 1 squad of Sangre Guard. I'm very much on Team Dante at the moment. Is my Blade Guard auto-include? Do you mean Blade Guard, AFOC, BG? Company champions are about to become auto-include with Ultramarines thanks to Uriel Ventress. What does Uriel give them? The captain in the company heroes, should I come out with a power fist and plasma pistol? I mean, that's how I've got mine made, yeah. Can he take an infernal pistol and still attach to them? I'm not sure. But yeah, mine was made before infernal pistols were an option on foot captains, so yeah, I've got mine made with the plasma pistol and power fist. That's how I run him anyway. I don't think he's in Gravis armor though. I think you're a little I think War Thunder is confused. The company heroes box comes with a captain. He might look a little bit like he's in Gravis, but I actually don't think he is wearing Gravis. I think he's just... he just probably looks like he's wearing Gravis. Is that right? Oh, the Blood Angels captain can, like, lead company heroes. Oh, that's interesting. Well, in that case, you could happily make him with an Infernal Pistol. I think either option is really fine. I mean, one shot from an Infernal Pistol, one shot from a Plasma Pistol. There's not really a whole lot in that, right? Probably what's going to actually happen is if you have the Plasma Pistol, you'll actually end up doing more damage long term just because of the crap range on the Infernal Pistol. At least with the Plasma Pistol, you've got like 12 inches, right? Oh, Uriel has a Vect bubble. Oh, well, that will be cool with company heroes just because of how durable they are. Interesting. Are Ultramarines going to be good now after the data slate Marius? Like, I don't know too much about Ultramarines, but I guess like Guilliman went down a boatload of points, right? Can we still use Firstborn Death Company jump packs? Not. I mean, they're legends now, which means. What does it mean? You can't use them in tournaments anymore, right? Is there any merit to running 2 squads of Sangre Guard? Yeah, it's expensive. But I mean, the Sangre Guard are one of our most deadly units, so. Yes. It's fine, I suppose. So what you're saying, Ricardo, is I need to be energetic when I'm talking about other units, huh? Gabriel, are power swords ever worth it over power fists? Not anymore. I feel like, I think if you go back like an edition. Like I think if you went back to 9th edition, I think a power sword always used to have more attacks than the power fist. But I think now maybe they're even the same in some cases. If they're the same, the power sword is always worse. If it's one more attack at the much less strength and the fact that it's 1 damage, I think it's still considerably worse. So yeah, power swords have kind of I mean, I feel like they were a viable choice for a while, but now they're just not. I mean, I guess the removal of war gear points costs, that sort of change has hurt them as well, because it probably used to cost like 5 points to have a power sword and 10 points for a power fist. Now they just basically have the same points cost. So, yeah, I mean, my Blood Angels, I feel like my Blood Angels army used to have a mix of power swords, power fists, all this sort of good stuff, and I think they're just completely gone now. Power swords used to have better AP as well. Yeah, I think they used to have AP 3, didn't they? Was that right? Did they used to have AP 3? Yeah, so power swords are a weapon that hasn't had enough love in 10th edition. And as such, I would say, yeah, you always just want to take the power fist. Honestly, I kind of hate it when that's the case, right? Like, I kind of hate that the fact that there's like only one good option and you should always take that one good option. Because I think it removes like variety and stuff from the game, but I guess it, in terms of like a game balance thing, if they're struggling to balance the game, I suppose it makes it easier for them to balance things if it's just like, alright, we're balancing against power fists because everybody's taking power fists. But it's a bit of a weird conundrum, right? Where like they want... the Blood Angels upgrade sprue has a bunch of power swords on it, doesn't it? But you don't actually want to take any of them. Yeah. So you guys that were talking about Space Marine 2, how have you... I haven't been following it much because I stopped playing it, but like, what's... There's some big drama about the new patch, right? Like, in terms of like the balance with the patch or something? You guys still playing it? Has the patch been good? Has the patch been bad? More hits is more chance to get lethal hits. Yeah, I mean, more hits is more chance to get lethal hits, but I guess the fact that it's like, for example, like, let's say you get 6 attacks with a power sword, and you get 5 attacks with a power fist. Well, the maximum you'll do with the power sword is like, what, 5 damage? The maximum, or 6 damage, sorry, if it's 6 attacks. And if the power fist is 2 damage, then you can do 10. So it literally comes down to the it's kind of why I think lightning claws are really bad in assault terminators, because it's like they just don't feel like they've got enough attacks, and I think power fists or power swords are kind of the same. It's like there's not enough attacks there to make it a meaningful pick over the other option. The new patch made it really challenging. What, like, it wasn't challenging before, Marius? You get stuck for hours on the campaign. How did it need to be more challenging? You added gold to the primary colors. Oh, so you can make Sangregard in the character creator. Well, that's cool. Did they add any new multiplayer game modes or maps? Because that was the thing that was kind of, I felt like, was missing. Like, I'm talking PvP. The new PvP mission is fire. There were a lot of nerfs, which never feels good. I bought a combat patrol under your link last night. Your content is great. Thanks so much for using the affiliate link, dude. It does help me out so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, I bought my I kind of forgot it was the combat patrol this morning because some of you probably watched my video. I've been trying to work out like every Saturday morning now. Well, every Saturday and Sunday morning. So I was like working out this morning, and like I try not to take my phone with me because if I take my phone, I'll end up like looking at my phone and not working out. So I finished my workout about 10:30, and I got on. I just like grabbed my phone to like, you know, just have a look at whatever's going on, the news, the weather, or whatever. And when I grabbed my phone, I was like, oh my goodness, it's Combat Patrol Day. I think Element Games had actually emailed me. And I was like, oh, balls, I need to get the Combat Patrol ordered. So the first thing I did after my workout was sat, like, sweating, was get the Combat Patrol ordered. So I was like, oh man, I didn't order any of the new Sangregard last week. Because I wanted to get the good deal from the Combat Patrol. I'm all about deals. I like my deals. They nerfed PvE after you stopped playing and then they brought it back up. Okay. Yeah, PvP was pretty hard when I was doing it, at least. My problem was really the multiplayer, like the PvP multiplayer. That's what's going to keep me engaged long term, I feel like, and it just wasn't there for me. How many hours do I work out a week? Like something like... well, it's, you know, like if I'm not... on a week, if I'm at the office, it's different. But my commute to the office is 35-minute walk. So I walk to work and back every day, Monday through Friday. So like, just, I guess that's like 5 or 6 hours walking a week without, you know, before working out. So then on a week where I'm walking to the office, then I probably work out like 4 hours on top of that walking. So I'll probably do like 10 hours exercise a week. But like this week I've not been at work. So I think I worked out every day except Wednesday because we took the kids away on Wednesday. So yeah, probably somewhere in the region of like 60 to 90 minutes. So yeah, probably like just 10 hours a week. Half of it is cardio, half of it is weight training. Someone said, hello Blood Angels Commander, I'm new to Warhammer. I'm currently building the Blood Angels army. Can you tell me if the Crimson Paladin units are worth running? I just saw them online. Crimson Paladins are a Horus heresy set. They don't actually... The models look cool, but they don't actually have rules for Warhammer 40,000. So if you're going to buy Crimson Paladins, they're very expensive as well. They're not a new player-friendly kit because they're resin models. If you've never made resin kits, they're a fucking nightmare. You have to use super glue, you have to actually wash the models when you get them in like hot soapy water. I don't know if I would recommend resin kits to a beginner because I mean, I used resin kits even after doing Warhammer for like 10 years and I still end up super gluing my fingers together because they're a fucking nightmare. They look great, the Crimson Paladins, but they aren't really They're not new player friendly. They're not actually a Warhammer 40,000 unit. They're a Horus heresy unit, which is a like spin-off game basically for 40k. So yeah, I would avoid them unless you're desperately wanting them. I think they're more like a project you should come to once you've had like 5 years of doing Warhammer models. Hello Mark, how you doing? You can run them as Blade Guard. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess you could run the Crimson Paladins as Blade Guard. They look cool as Blade Guard. Yeah, they've got shields, they've got swords. Yeah, just be aware that like if you're a new hobbyist, you're not gonna have a lot of fun with. I mean, no one really has fun with resin forge rolled kits. I feel like. I think that's why Games Workshop kind of maybe got basically discontinued rules for most of them for 40k. Like if 40k is the entry level game, they don't really want you to be trying to enter the hobby and build that stuff because it's not easy to do. I've built a lot of forge roll kits in my day. Like probably in the region of like 10-15 kits, and like I don't ever remember having a great experience with any of them. But hey, you know, maybe some people, I'm sure, really enjoy doing the models. And James says they're beautiful kits, but absolutely not for beginners. Especially instructions or exploded diagram. Oh yeah, that's something as well. The forge rolled instructions are notoriously bad. The forge roll, like, I've honestly seen like a forge roll instruction where like page 1 shows you all the parts, like here are the 10 parts you get. Page 2 shows you the completed model, and there's like no step. You know, there's literally no step between like here are the parts and the completed model. You just need to figure it all out for yourself. I don't understand actually why their instructions are so bad. Like, I feel like they could definitely make better instructions if they wanted to. It wouldn't be that difficult. Hello Gitley, how you doing? You're batch painting 20 Death Company, you're a brave man. I haven't batch painted 20 Death Company in a long time. I think maybe the biggest batch paint I ever did on Death Company was about 15. The edge highlighting 15 guys is what gets me, man. That's a lot of work. The point of those instructions was you already experienced hobbyist and probably won't look at. Oh right, so they make those instructions because they're aimed at experienced people. Yeah, I mean I remember some horrific forge rolled instruction sets, so fair enough. To be fair, sometimes I do build the regular Warhammer 40,000 guys without instructions these days. Usually it always comes back to bite me, but I do sometimes do it. Wisp of the Will is kitbashing Dominion Zephon model with Lieutenant Power Fist and Plasma Pistol for a jump captain. That sounds pretty cool. I never actually got round to getting that Dominion Zephon guy. I do have the new Primaris jump captain, and I used some of his bits. He's got a cape, which is kind of interesting. Do you know, I never actually used the cape when I build him, so I saw it the other day. I was like, oh, I've got this cape for a jump captain, so I kind of need to make somebody that, like, I wish that the rules for those new Death Company captains were a little bit better, because it's been a little while since I made a Death Company captain. I feel like I would have liked to probably make like another Death Company captain with Power Fist or something, because I think the 2 Death Company captains I've got with jump packs both have Thunder Hammers, and I think Power Fist is probably what you want these days. But yeah, I'm a little bit sad those new Death Company captains don't give you any OC. I think the fact they don't give you any OC is a big mistake. I think if they'd given OC, maybe if they just had the same rules as Chaplain, they might have got some play and some interesting stuff. But because they don't have any OC, I feel like you're paying for a character and then you still have to pay for the Chaplain elsewhere in the battlefield, so it's like a double tax to take the new Death Company captain. I don't think he's good enough to basically have to pay for him twice, right? I've been waiting for my bits for Grey Tide for a while, says No Fucks. They haven't even shipped after 3 weeks. I read as well that the shipping on them was very slow. I pre-ordered them on the very first day, so that would have been like the 26th of September. I haven't got mine either, so... But I did see somebody on Reddit's got them, and somebody on Reddit got them and even got a replacement shipped out as well, because the first set they got apparently weren't very, like the quality of the 3D prints on the first set were pretty bad for some reason. Hello Mark, how you doing? Disgustingly Resilient, good evening. Are you happy with the Death Guard improvements, Disgustingly Resilient? Holland said to me in our little like plastic crackheads chat that he was going to find it very easy to beat Blood Angels now with the Death Guard buffs, so I'm going to have to put him in his place like in the next couple of weeks. I don't know if it's going to be as easy as he thinks it is. Mortarion went down in points, the Death Shroud Terminators went down in points. I mean, Colin does play both those units, so I guess that is a buff of sorts, right? Oh, were you at a tournament today, Mark? Was that you were? That's why you were up so early, right? They should be the same as the chaplains. Oh, you said they shouldn't be the same as the chaplain. The captain will fall to the Black Rage. Yeah, but I mean, in terms of like paying for the points, man, I just think it's going to be a big ask. Like I just don't see myself taking any of the new Death Company captains. I mean, I might take one in the Death Company detachment for a bit of fun or a bit of fluff, but in terms of competitiveness, I just don't think they're there competitively. So who's all played with the new points cost then? Anyone? I mean, the points came out on Wednesday, so I guess if you played a game on Thursday, Friday, or today, you would have played with the new points. Anyone played? Well, sweetheart, why on earth are you still awake? See what I'm doing. Oh, it's too hard to get to sleep, isn't it? Look at this. We're painting models. Yeah? Red paint, huh? You see that?
Have you got to get it just right?
You do have to get it just right, yeah. Daddy's talking to his friends while he's painting his models.
Are his friends right there?
Yeah, they're in that. Yeah. See all this text here? That's them chatting. Do you want to say hello to them?
No.
Oh, that's very cute. Are you going to get ready for bed then? It's too hard to get to sleep. What if I go find an iPad and let you watch... would you like to watch something on an iPad? Do you watch Moana for half an hour? If I put the iPad on, will you promise you're going to try and go to sleep? Yeah?
And I think I know what I need to watch.
Oh, you know what you need to watch, no doubt. No doubt you know what you need to watch. Right, through the bed, come on.
It's a movie, Rapunzel.
Rapunzel. Too hard to get to sleep, guys. Well, close your friggin' eyes. That's probably the problem, right? That's probably the problem. Oh, sorry, I completely lost the track of thought. The little Scottish girl will demonetize the channel forever. Yeah, I'll demonetize the channel, swearing at the fact that that's what she always tells me. It's too hard to get to sleep. Like, have you tried closing your eyes? She actually wants to be Brave for Halloween this year. Or Merida. Merida for Brave, sorry. Brave's the name of the movie, Merida's the character. So we're making her a Merida dress. Mum has ordered a bow and arrow. Switching off the brain is the hard part, yeah. But, I mean, closing your eyes does help, right? Anyway, evening Sanguinar, how you doing? You showed up just in time. Michael just says he had the same conversation with his daughter, yeah? From my understanding, Astaroth can detect the Black Rage long before it sets in. I'm trying to think if in the Astaroth book if he was able to detect the Black Rage. I think it made it sound like he would interview people. It sounded like they would be interviewed by Astaroth. Or maybe he just talks to them and finds out if they are sane of mind or something. Zuriel just got back from pre-ordering. Nice, dude. I saw some people ordered like 2 combat patrols here in the UK. I'm like, you guys are crazy. You really gonna go 12, 16 Sanguinary Guard? I don't know, man. I'm starting with a single combat patrol. I kind of want to make that like the gold captain that they shared. Did Games Workshop ever reply to you about that, Marius, actually? Are you still here, Marius? Did they ask? Cool, we got 93 people watching tonight. We got 38 likes. If you guys got 2 seconds, the like button would help ever so much. I'd appreciate it. Have you got a community subreddit? We do not have a subreddit. We have a Discord and a Facebook group. There is already quite a big Blood Angels Reddit community, and like I guess like a lot of people post photos and stuff on that anyway, and I'm in there. I'm actually a mod of the official Blood Angels Reddit community as well, so but yeah, I mean, if you're looking for the Discord, there's a link in the video description, or just type !Discord. The Facebook group should be linked in the video description as well. I actually took the kids to the park today as well, because I was thinking to myself, like, I'm wanting to stream tonight. I know my wife's out, so the best thing I can do is tire them out by taking them to the park. That never seems to work for me. Like, I take them out to try and make them tired, and all it seems to do is give them more energy. Who knew? Even the Sanguinary Guard I ordered, even hating the Sanguinary Guard. Why do you hate them, man? Like, you just don't like the new sculpts, or you just hate the unit in general? Question for chat. Orc player building a Blood Angels army and want to focus more on Death Company. Any way of getting OC without losing a lot of points in chaplains? Or no Death Company units? There is none to do it, and that's the trick. That's why I think it's really hard to be competitive if you're trying to run that Death Company detachment. What was your name? The Orc player? Razel of Old. Yeah, I think the new Death Company detachment is going to be really hard to play, because like you said, there's basically, like, I like to call it the chaplain tax. Then it's just like a tax on, you need chaplains to make your army effective. But I mean, you can run a couple of units of Death Company if you give them a chaplain, and Death Company do get pretty good buffs from the chaplain. So I think, like, Astrath is a good leader for Death Company. I think Lamartas is a good leader for Death Company. So I think there is good leaders there to be used. I don't think it hurts your army too much to have a couple of chaplains, maybe even 3 chaplains. But yeah, I think if you start thinking about more than 3 chaplains, then as you say, you're basically spending points you don't want to be spending. The kids have limited yeah, the kids do have unlimited energy for nuisance. Yeah. I don't know if I remember having that much energy when I was a kid, but I'm sure it did, I guess. Yeah. The enemy cannot score points if you disable them, Horus. Yeah, I mean, I guess you're right, Mark, but I think in practice it's very difficult to do that effectively. I mean, people that were doing the best with Death Company units beforehand were using, like, the old Death Company Dreadnought, and they were being very effective with it, even though they had 0 OC. But I guess it wasn't a playstyle I leaned into that heavily. I don't like my units to have 0 OC. And I don't like having to have my units near other units to get the chaplain buff. So when I play Death Company, I pretty much always just attach a chaplain to them. If I'm gonna play Death Company, I'm probably always gonna do that. I just think it'd be one more thing to have to worry about. What Firstborn models do you think will get updated versions? Well, I think probably Assault Terminators will get updated versions, because they did the regular Terminators with the box set, right, for the Leviathan box set for 11th edition, so I think it'd be weird if they updated those Terminators and didn't update the close combat ones at some point. I think that's probably going to happen next edition. I think they might also do updated Vanguard veterans because they did the Stern Guard. So I think you might get like Vanguard veterans again. I think that might be next edition, 11th edition. Is there anything else I think they might update? Honestly, we're getting to a point where like a lot of the Firstborn stuff has gone. Some people were hopeful for a Baal variant of the Gladiator. I don't really care. I don't really use Baal Predators all that much. So yeah, Assault Terminators maybe. Vanguard Veterans maybe. Is there anything else that screams at me that would get a updated version? I don't know, chat, what do you think? What else will get upgraded from Firstborn kits? The Chaplain with a jump pack? Yeah, maybe the Chaplain with a jump pack will get updated because we're still using a Firstborn Chaplain with a jump pack, aren't we? That's a good shout. That might potentially happen. Gravis Marines with las cannons? You don't think there's enough Gravis with like heavy weapons and stuff? You really think they'll do like a Gravis Devastator squad? I'm not convinced. But I mean, I think they did Desolation Marines to try and be the Devastator squad. Fair enough, Desolation Marines need like a complete rework, but I do think that was intended to be the variant of Devastator Squad or something. Centurions. I mean, Centurions are already big and chunky anyway. I'm not. Maybe they'll get to stay. I don't know. It would be nice if they did keep some of the old kits, I guess. A lieutenant with a jump pack. Pat says he'd hate to see the Predators go. I think all those Firstborn tanks, Predators, Vindicators, Whirlwinds, I think there's a very good chance we'll lose all of them. I think the sculpts are super old now. An ancient in Terminator armor? I mean, sure. Does anyone actually use the ancient in Terminator armor, Zuriel? Oh, I did think about that as well. Like, the flyers, man. Nobody uses any of the flyers. Like, I say nobody. I guess some people were using Storm Ravens this edition. I kind of think Zero OC flyers, they've been a bit irrelevant now for a while. I was really thinking about that as well. I was like, because I'm sure somebody asked on one of the other streams about, like, do you think we get to keep, like... I think someone was asking, like, should they buy, like, a Predator Destructor or a Predator Annihilator? And I was like, it's hard to ever recommend buying the Firstborn models at the moment, because you don't know how long they're going to last. Combined with the fact that, like, yeah, all those Firstborn flyers are probably pretty, like, they already are irrelevant. Like, nobody runs them. Very few people run them. There's maybe, like, a quirky list somewhere. You can take a Storm Raven or something. But no one really does. Not in competitive sense. So, like, are all the Firstborn flyers disappearing? If so, are all the Firstborn tanks disappearing? I don't know. My hope and dream is that Games Workshop would just come out and tell us what's happening. Because... I mean, I've stopped buying Firstborn models now for probably like 2 or 3 years. Because it just feels really bad when you buy a model and it doesn't last very long at all, and then it gets it. Who's caught?
McFaxon donated $5 via Super Chat. With Firstborn being replaced, I don't even feel comfortable getting a Baal Predator, and Firestorm Blood Angels is my whole tilde thing tilde.
I have awoken.
Hey, thanks for subscribing. McFatson! Super chat. Firstborn are being replaced. I don't even feel comfortable getting a Ball Predator on Firestorm Blood Angels is my whole thing. Yeah, you are the mentalist that tries to make Firestorm work with Fatson. Yeah, I wish they would come out and tell us, but I guess they don't want to tell us because they potentially want to sell the old kits and then discontinue them. It's a weird situation. I guess there's no like they've never done this before, right? Like the retiring of models. So yeah, it's like I've just not been buying Firstborn kits now for a while, and it feels like every, you know, it feels like every opportunity is more and more Firstborn just gone from the range. So I honestly think it's now just a matter of time before they're all gone. I think maybe for a while we thought like some of them will stay and stuff. I think we were all wrong. This bit from Lord of the Rings springs to mind. All of them were deceived or in secret. One Firstborn was crafted. One Firstborn to rule them all. I don't know. Thoughts on 40k Primaris Breachers? What the hell is a Primaris Breacher? Sorry. Like, in an ideal world, I would just like it that, like, they've replaced, like, all the Firstborn infantry, or they will have pretty soon. I would actually kind of like them to just come out and say, you know, hey, all your Firstborn tanks are going to stick around for at least, like, one more edition or something like that. And then everybody can go out and feel like, well, we know we've got 4 more years with rhinos and predators and all those sort of things, and just go ahead and buy them all up. I think the confusing part is we don't know how long the things have. And then, you know, someone said, like, for example, they bought a Kratos tank, and the Kratos tank came out, and it got 40k rules, and its 40k rules disappeared, like, in less than a year, I believe. So it was like, hey, here's a new tank that you can use in 40k, but less than a year later, oh, you can't use it in 40k. And I think, like, that... It's just probably got to a point where, like, it's... There's certain things where it just feels too risky to take the risk. And for most of us, money doesn't grow on trees, so...
P. Hash donated 200 Swedish krona via Super Chat. Thank you for great content and building a top community. Go Disneyland smile.
Thank you so much for the Super Chat, Peeth. That's very kind of you. Breacher units from 30k with the shields and bolters. Oh, right, like where the shield's got the cutout and it's got the bolter in it. I don't know if they're trying to... I mean, I think they're a cool unit. But I don't know if they're... We were talking about this the other night in Grots. I don't know if they're going to try and bring, like, a flying blade guard as potentially one of the next... As the next part. Like, Vanguard veterans are going to be discontinued, so we're going to get, like, flying blade guard as a potential. Thank you so much for the 200 Swedish krona. I have no idea what the exchange rate is to pounds, but 200 sounds like a lot, so thank you so much, Pete. That's very kind of you. I was going to say content this week, so we got the Army List show tomorrow. Hopefully on Wednesday night we're going to get the first game against the Lost Brethren, and then I guess now that we've got some new points costs, there'll be a new tactics video coming out on Friday as normal, so I have to figure out what that's going to be. But yeah, I'm really glad that we finally got the points costs, and we can start working towards Well, do you know what? It probably won't be long before somebody wins a tournament. If any of you guys, like you're browsing BCP or you're browsing anywhere like Goonhammer and that, and you see that Blood Angels have won a tournament and I haven't covered it on the channel, please send it my way and I will do my best to cover it. I'll be keeping an eye out to try and make sure that I cover like the first tournament winning lists for like the new codex and the new detachments, right? Like that's something that I haven't been able to do, I guess, for a few months, but I'll do it as soon as we get some people winning tournaments. Hey, and if you're in the chat or if you're in the channel and you actually do win a tournament, feel free to like send me the tournament that you won, send me some information about the list, because it's some of those tournament winning lists are some of the content that people like watching the most on my channel, honestly, because people like to know. Even if they don't copy the lists, people like to know what's doing well. People like to get inspiration from other lists. And then sometimes people like to try units they've not tried before, right? You know, like sometimes when you look at a tournament list, something can click and you can be like, oh yeah, I never saw that combo before. That's a really strong combo. I should be trying that. How come Sweden doesn't use it? Is Sweden not part of the Euro? Like you guys just decided you're... And I would have thought Sweden was part of the European Union, but I guess maybe it's not. I know that some of the countries didn't adopt the euro, I guess, and kept their own currency. Maybe Sweden's like that. Oh, we're gonna... Jason, I wouldn't worry about it. We'll get to Disney... If we have to walk, we'll get to Disneyland with the kids one day. There is a tunnel, right? There's a tunnel from England to France. I've been in that tunnel like once. It's not that expensive. We'll get there. I'll make an Angelic host work as a win. Quicks, I'd love to see it if you would win a tournament. I'd love to see the winning list. Ricardo says I would need Flying Blade Guard. Yeah, I would like to see some Flying Blade Guard. I think that'd be super cool. I think Blade Guard are kind of awesome models, like the chunkiness of them. And that's what I was going to say, you people that got the new Sangre Guard, I think, James, you said you got some of the new Sangre Guard. Do they feel like chunky? And I guess what I mean by that is like, you know, Blade Guard just have a little bit more weight about them, like they just feel larger. I guess because they're probably just because they're on the 40mm bases, right? Is that why? Like, what do the new Sangre Guard feel like? They feel like that? My kids are too young for Universal Studios Serenade. They're 2 years old and 4-year-old. We do Universal when they're like 10, I guess. I do think like I've been to both Universal and Disneyland. I get what you're saying. I like the Men in Black ride. They're very much like the Blade Guard. They're very imposing. So I take it the Combat Patrol is a 2-week pre-order as well. I never actually looked. Just all the pre-orders are 2 weeks now, right? So if you pre-ordered the Combat Patrol this morning, you'll get it like the Saturday the 2nd of November. Okay, so I'll see it in 2 weeks. So I've got 2 weeks to get these death do you know what? I'm actually not going to rush to do the Sangre Guard for the Combat Patrol. I think after these two, I might do, I might actually paint some suppressors. I've got 3 that are like half painted. I might finish one of the squads of suppressors.
Mars Miller donated $19.99 via Super Chat. Disney Fund.
Guys, that's very, very generous. Thank you so much, Mars. Do appreciate it. Yuvengi says he lives in the Czech Republic, but they also have their own currency, even though it's part of the EU. It's funny, you called it Czech. I thought they changed the name of the Czech Republic. Didn't they call it... Am I wrong in thinking they've changed... Maybe I thought... Because I was very confused, actually, because, like, I watch a lot of international football, and I feel like one of the countries that used to be part of, like, Russia like that changed their name. Maybe it was your country, Vengi. Maybe it was someone else. I saw that the combat patrol sold out on Wargame potentially, like almost immediately. Halo End. What? Because I don't live in America, I guess I didn't actually check the discount that Wargame Portal are giving. How much of a discount are they giving Wargame Portal? Like, why are they like they have seemed to sell? Excuse me. They have sold out of all the Blood Angels releases, like within like the first 10 minutes every single time. They're giving 15% off. Okay, I mean it's a chunk of money when a combat patrol is like $100 and some bucks. Oh, there is some other Czechoslovak. I don't know what you call you guys now. Czech. I'm so bad with English. Czechnians. No, I'm not even going to try. You know, like, in Scotland we call Scottish people... I was going to say, in Scotland we call people Scottish. So what do you call people in Chechnya? I don't even think I'm saying your country right, sorry. Mars, thanks so much for the super chat. Do appreciate it, it's very generous of you. Oh, you just call them Czechs. Okay. Oh, that's so obvious. I feel so dumb. Hey. Oh well, at least I can admit that I'm dumb, right? It was 168 down to 142. Yeah, $25. That's a lot of money, right? What does $25 buy in America these days? Like, how much is a crate of beer? I haven't been to the States since 2017, so I have no idea what prices of things are in the States these days. I do know last time I was in the States, I went to fill the car up with gasoline. I put way too much gas in there because your guys' gas prices are ridiculously low. Like, over here in Scotland, we are like, it's been as high as like £2 a litre. So, like, that would be the equivalent of like 13 US dollars a gallon or something. So I went to the gas station and just like absolutely put way too much gas in. It was really annoying because I was taking like the hire car back the same day. I was just like putting some gas in to get back to the airport, and I like basically filled the entire tank up, and I was like, oh god damn it, that was so stupid. $25 gets half a potato. I mean, times are tough, right? It will get you 80% of a Gretchen box. You know, I went to Orlando in, I think it would have been 2003, and I think I got a crate, like a crate, as in like 10 packs of Marlboro. I think it was regular Marlboro. I think I moved to Marlboro Lights after that. So they got 10 packs of Marlboro, so it's like 200 cigarettes, and I think it was $21. Yeah, 10 packs of 20 cigarettes. It was $21. So that was 2003, I think. That was like the duty free. And in Scotland we're called Scots, not Scottish. Yeah, true, I suppose. So did you finish painting any of your Blood Angels, Marius? Or are you back on Team Ultramarines again? Marbella Reds are $6.50 in Musari as of last month. Like 13 a pack in Minnesota. Well, here, if you were buying a pack of Marbella in Scotland now, you would be like $25, honestly. I'm so glad I quit smoking. I don't understand how people can smoke at the current prices, because I felt like it was expensive when I smoked, and when I smoked it's like so cheap compared to what it is now. I honestly don't know how anyone affords it. It's just ridiculous. Michigan at sub 20 a case, but I wouldn't expect quality beer for that. Typically, if you're spending like sub 20, I guess you're not. Hey, but I guess you know, Wargame Portal's offering you a free crate of beer essentially with their discount. That's not too bad. That's kind of the same as the discount we're getting from Element Games, because if you buy the Combat Patrol from Games Workshop, it's 100. If you buy it from Element Games, it's 80. So $20 here, I guess, is a pack of cigarettes, or you could probably get like 10-15 beers for $20. Like, not the best beer in the world. If you want good beer, you can probably get like 8 or 10 for $20. Maybe not even 8. Something like that. Quality beer in the US? I'm sure they do have quality beer, James. That's very harsh. They got Budweiser, that's the king of beers, yo. I mean, it's a running joke here in the UK that everybody in the UK thinks Budweiser is crap, but do people in America think it's crap? I mean, they advertise it during the Super Bowl and stuff, and those adverts cost like $1 million for a minute or something. So it's not like Budweiser isn't making money, right? Do people in America think Budweiser is good, or because in the UK people think it's crap? I actually don't mind Budweiser, but I know, like, I've got some friends that if you offered them a Budweiser, they'd be like, "Why are you drinking that crap?" Like, because it's beer. That's why I'm drinking it. Is the McDonald's a beer? True, that's probably accurate. But hey, McDonald's sells a lot of beer, doesn't it? Heineken all over the world. Exactly. Heineken's not a bad beer. Bud is crap in the States. Okay. So the consensus is Budweiser is crap. Okay. But it's branded itself as the king of beers for some reason. I don't know what makes it the king. It was there first. Probably. Oops. Hey, Sam coming in with gifted memberships. Dude, thank you so much. It's very generous of you. The Czechs are the king of beers. What beers you got over there in Czech that makes you the king? You've got Strapo Men, right?
I have awoken.
I'll be back in 1 sec.
I have awoken. I have awoken.
You know, I went to Prague one year for Christmas Day, and in Prague, they at Christmas they still have restaurants. Like it's freezing and it's cold, and there's snow. I think there was snow when I was there, but they still have restaurants that have you eat outside even on Christmas Day, and They just give you a blanket and like light a fire for you. And I think I had a pint. I think I had a pint of Strapomen. I think that's what it was called, or something like Strapovici. Maybe was like how they pronounce it locally. So I had this pint of like Strapovici or Strapomen, and drunk this pint like sitting outside in absolute cold, having my like Christmas dinner. Then had another pint of it, and I was thinking to myself like, I'm feeling a little bit drunk from like just 2 beers. I assume it's the cold or something, you know, like sitting outside in the freezing cold. And then like I got the menu and looked at it again, and I was like, oh, this beer is 12%. Okay, right, now I know why. So this beer is like stronger than friggin' wine. And I was like, alright, maybe we'll lay off like going a bit crazy with this beer. Pandoc says, hey dude, just started 40k. Hello, welcome. Your videos have helped immensely, thank you. I'm trying to order the new Combat Patrol and Element games, but your affiliate link and I'm not seeing it in checkout. I think you just click on their website and you just go to it from the affiliate link. I don't think it will show you anything special in checkout, man. The only thing you need to do on checkout is punch in that code and you'll get yourself like double crystals. But if you're seeing it for $80, which is what it should be, a bit cheaper than the Games Workshop one, then you should be all good. And Pandox, if you've clicked the link, basically I think if you click the affiliate link, it puts a cookie on your computer, and then at that point it doesn't really care about anything else. Like it won't tell you it's an affiliate sale or anything like that. And even if it doesn't, if you know, like, as much as I like you guys using the affiliate links, if you get it for 80 quid and you save yourself $20, that's the main thing, right? So welcome to 40k. This is like a normal occurrence on my paint streams where I have to dig out these fucking paint pots, man. Maybe if I swear... Oh, I dropped my knife on the floor as well. Maybe if I swear about these paint pots enough times, Games Workshop will finally listen and put their damn paints in dropper bottles. Like, what's the one thing you want from 11th edition? I'm allowed to say them putting their paints in dropper bottles. God, I hate these paint pots, man. They're the worst design ever. Well, I mean, they're probably not the worst design ever. They're just notoriously bad for getting a crap load of paint in the seam and then the paint pot doesn't close. Look how much wasted paint that is. Ooh. Lovely. I was going to say, now the pot closes at least. Do I have a second army? Yeah, but I never get any time to paint it, Gabriel. Like, literally never get any time on it, so I don't even know if I really class it as a second army. I also have another couple of games that have armies that I basically never have time to paint either. I did more painting before I started making YouTube videos, I must admit that. So like before I was making YouTube videos, I was building a Star Wars Legion army, and I have some of it painted, like halfway maybe. But like since I've started the YouTube channel, so in like the last 4 years I've been focusing pretty much solely on Blood Angels. I've had like 1 or 2 sessions in 4 years painting my Star Wars Legion stuff. So I honestly started selling some of the stuff that I bought, because I don't know when the hell I'm ever getting to it. And yeah, I mean, like, I'm in half minds about selling the rest of the Star Wars Legion stuff I've got, because some of it's not even assembled. It's just been sat in a box for like 4 years. But yeah, I've got a bunch of Zinch models. Most of them are unassembled. I was thinking of starting Zinch. I mean, here's the thing, I could literally quit making YouTube videos tomorrow and I could have a second army, but I quite like having the channel and I quite like the community, and I'm kind of the Blood Angels guy now, so like, I feel like I'm just doing that. So maybe I'll hold on to these guys, maybe I won't. I mean, I sold all my X-Wing models, because I had some of those. Ironically, X-Wing models actually come painted. But I just sold them all because I haven't played it in like 5 years. I sold I feel like I sold another board game. Can't remember what it was. Oh, but no, and I did sell some Star Wars Legion stuff because I had some of it still in cellophane, and I was like, the stuff that's out of cellophane I'm not even getting to. The stuff in cellophane I'm just going to sell. I'll get most of my money back for it. Best thing about beer, everyone has a different kind and most of them are enjoyable. Do I have to pick just one? That's very true, Frank. I would say, like, maybe I'm a little bit of a beer snob. But, like, if push comes to shove, will I drink any beer? Yes. I actually won the starter box of Battletech at a tournament as well. And I just gave that away to the guy Kev. I think Kev might actually be coming on my channel on Wednesday night. So I guess as a thank you for coming on the channel a few times, I gave away my tournament winnings to Kev one time just because I was like, hey Kev, I know you collect and make Battletech, here you go. You know, have another starter box of models. I won at a tournament, I don't know when I'm getting to it. So yeah, I'm kind of the Blood Angels guy, I'm kind of prioritizing that. But yeah, thanks so much for the gifted subs. If you did just get a gifted membership, you get access to our Discord only members room. So please head over into Discord and link up your account and join in the members room. I did actually realize just this week that if you were a member on Twitch, you were not getting access to the members room. Someone pointed out to me. I didn't really think about it, but so Twitch members now also get access to the members room. So if you've got if you are a member over on Twitch, you got that too now. Blood Angels Commander Community Challenge. Everybody sends you a Zinch model, and then that makes your army. Yeah, I could literally send all you guys one Zinch model, and you could all send them back to me, and then I'd have an army. There you go. It would be the most multicolored, higgledy-piggledy army in the world, but it would work, wouldn't it? My thought was at some point maybe to just ask Mike to just to commission all the Zinch models that I have, because I've got probably got 700-800 points of Zinch. I would like them all to match, so I thought maybe at some point I'd just get Mike to do it all. We'll see. I did actually think as well at some point I might finish my Blood Angels right before the round of them legendsing all of my army. Because I mean, I do paint every single week. There's very rarely a week goes past that I don't paint models. And I do finish squads all the time, so there is the odd time that I go to a tournament and everything's painted, I do finish stuff. Whenever I have time off work, like my day job, I'm always painting as well. I do play video games, but I usually prioritize painting models over if I have free time just to myself and I'm not making a YouTube video, I usually am painting. Occasionally I'll play video games, but I feel like the painting is usually it's almost like an 80-20 painting to video game play, if that makes sense. So yeah, I mean, at some point I will. You would have thought I will finish all these Blood Angels. Do Sanguinary Guard in the box of something extra in the sprue, or is it same as the Combat Patrol? I already play World Eaters in Denial. Yeah, sure, McFatson. We already play World Eaters in Denial. Do you know what's ironic is Thousand Suns got really badly nerfed in this data slate, didn't they? All their points costs just went through the roof. Where did I just put that paint? No, I think the difference between buying the Sanguinary Guard individually is you get a transfer sheet with each box, whereas the Combat Patrol only comes with one transfer sheet. And I believe correct me if I'm wrong here, James, because you bought the new Sanguinary Guard. You get 540 transfers in the box with the Sanguinary Guard. There's 3 models in that box, but you get 540 transfers. What's that about? That's right, though, yeah? Who said I was in Egypt? I mean, I've got a Demon Prince, which I assumed I would run with 1,000 Suns, honestly. 1,000 Suns can have Demon Princes, can't they? With the point changes, are we running Intercessors with jump packs and 10s now? I won't be. I still think they're super strong as 5s, and I think they work better as 5s. I can see why they've made the 5s more expensive, but I don't think it changes too much. Like, I think a 5-man unit of jump Intercessors is still a great unit. It's a very good unit that can trade very efficiently. I think it's still competitive at 90 points. I feel for me it doesn't change too much if you were enjoying running jump Intercessors at 80, I think you'll just enjoy them just fine at 90. I guess the only real change is if you were running 3 squads of jump Intercessors, then maybe you've got to cut something else from your list to fit, because 30 points up is a bit. Yeah, and I mean there is options. Cernade mentions it. There's options to switch, right? Like you can take Outriders. They're a good unit for 80 points. You can take Impulsors. They're a good unit for 80 points. You can take Suppressors now at 75. So I mean, like if you're running 3 jump Intercessors before, you could maybe run like 2 jump Intercessors and a unit of Outriders or a unit of Suppressors. You know, like there's definitely some like small changes you can make there that doesn't mean very much in fact changes. My current list had 2 units of jump Intercessors in it. I think after this balanced data slate I will still have 2 units of jump Intercessors with it. I'll just, you know, well, for example, my list had 6 Sangre Guard. They went down 30 points. So technically if the Sangre Guard went down 30 points, the jump Intercessors won't have went up 10. I'm actually positive 10. What's kind of ironic is I also had the 10 Death Company. They went up 10. So it's like the Death Company went up 10, the 2 units of jump Intercessors went up 20, 10 each, and then the Sangre Guard came down 30, so overall net nothing changes, right? Like I have the exact same models in the list that I had before, just the points between those models is slightly differently allocated, but in terms of what models were in my list, what was in my list, what does my list look like, nothing changes. Now I feel like that's happened now for a few Blood Angels releases, is like, or maybe not Blood Angels releases, like MFM books or whatever you call it, MFM updates, where like they change 1 or 2 things and put them up ever so slightly, they change something else and put it down ever so slightly, and the net result is that there's no overall major change. It's just like, okay, everything is pretty much as is, right? Like the status quo. Hello Alex, good evening. The Wisp likes Outriders for Lost Brethren. Yeah, I mean, having a chaplain with the Outriders and Lost Brethren might be interesting. Normally I feel like, because the chaplain costs 75 points, I feel like you should just try and find 80 points for another 3 Outriders. I guess if you're doing Lost Brethren and you're needing to find some more chaplains into your list, I suppose that's not the worst idea, Wisp. Ricardo's working on getting Lancers for Angelic Host, which you can see the next time you do a list stream, but now Free Blade Knights I considered as an anti-tank. Which one would you put in Angelic Host? Well, Canis Rex is the one that most people think is one of the strongest choices. So, Canis Rex is good, I think. He's a good choice. But also people think that like 3 Armigers are pretty good, the War Glaives. But no, I can understand why people think Canis Rex is good. What? I feel like something changed with Rex's points. Did he go up? Maybe. He maybe went up a little bit, so do people still think he's good? Cernade says he took a major point nerf. So is he still the best, or what's the option? What's the best option for a large knight now? Is it back to being the Castellan? I mean, Canis Rex had sustained on 5s. I guess that was what was pushing him over. I think it was like all his melee and all his shooting was just sustained 5s, right? It's pretty nice, sustained 5s. Josh says, hey John, I want to say thank you for all you do. You've inspired me to begin painting my charnel guard. Good for you, man. The trick now that you've got the inspiration to start, I guess, is to like change it to become a habit, man. Because that's one of the things that I've been doing with like going to the gym and stuff, is like motivation is a fleeting thing, right? Like I can be super motivated to go to the gym tomorrow morning, or I could be super unmotivated to go to the gym tomorrow morning. Who knows what you know, like I could wake up at 9 AM tomorrow, I had a great sleep, the kids didn't come into my bed to bother me at like 4 in the morning or something, so I wake up at 9, super motivated, let's do this, let's hit the gym. Or I could wake up at like 7 with one of the kids like crawling all over me because they've decided to wake up at 6 and, you know, I haven't had any sleep. And I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum where I was like, I'm just not motivated to use the gym today. So the trick though, I think, is to try and get away from motivation. Because motivation is fleeting. Whereas if like you just said, like, it's a habit, right? Like, for example, I always try, I mean, like last Saturday night, was it last Saturday? I think it was last Saturday. I think I was at a wedding last Saturday night, or maybe that was the weekend before. Maybe I was here, I can't remember. But like, you know, if I'm at a wedding, I can't paint on a Saturday night. But like, I kind of have it as a habit where it's like, my habit is I paint Warhammer every Saturday night. Without, you know, sun, rain or shine, I always paint Warhammer on a Saturday. Like, so I think the same thing goes, like, you've got the inspiration now, cool, great, use that inspiration. That inspiration isn't going to stay, so, you know, something's going to come up, you're going to get bored, you're going to edge highlight 100 models, you don't want to do it. So, like, at some point, I think the trick is to create a habit, you know? Where the habit is like, you know, for me anyway, the habit is I use the gym every Saturday and Sunday morning, regardless, you know? Because then I think when it becomes a habit, or becomes like a plan, then you don't have to fight with the motivation, if that makes sense. Given another good example is, I was doing a fast earlier in the year, right? Where like I fasted for 12 weeks. And in that time, like, I just wasn't, like, every day I wasn't allowed to eat food for, like, a certain period of time. And when I committed to the fast, it was actually much easier than any diet I've ever been on in my life. Because any diet I've ever been on in my life, I get hungry and I think, oh, I'm trying to diet, so I shouldn't have this chocolate bar. But there's no real negative part to having the chocolate bar, so just eat the chocolate bar, right? Whereas, like, when I was on the fast, it was like, oh, this is my fasting period. So, like, for these 10 hours or 12 hours or however many hours it was, I'm not eating food. So it just removed, like, the battle in my brain. Because it was like, oh, I'm hungry, but I'm in my fast period. Okay, so I can't eat. And it just made it, like, a super easy thing for me. So someone who struggled with, like I'm a grazer, like, I just snack all the time. And that's why I struggle to lose weight or struggle to maintain my weight and have to go to the gym and shit like that. So by creating like this fast period, I actually made it like super easy for me. And then, you know, maybe that only works for me, but like, long answer, Josh. Great job that you've got your motivation. Try and change it out so you can keep it going now. That's what I'm trying to say. And that's the tricky part. Linus says, hi John, will you make a new Blood Angels beginner list with a new box plus combat patrol with the new points upgrade? Yeah, that's a good point. I made a video a few weeks ago about starting Blood Angels with the new Death Company starter box that they released. But now that the new Combat Patrol is out, that's a good idea for a video, Linus. Thank you for the suggestion. I suppose I hadn't really thought honestly about covering the Combat Patrol. But yeah, I mean, I guess a lot of people will buy the Combat Patrol and wonder like what next or where to go next. So yeah, that's a cool idea. Thank you. Do you know what? I will write that down right this minute. Linus. I don't think we've met before. Was it Linus? Yeah, Linus. I'm gonna write that down in a notepad file because I have a memory that's like bad. Oh. I think I just stopped my music accidentally there by Okay. I'm just going to write that down. Thanks for the suggestion, Linus. We'll do that. I don't know when we'll do it, but we'll do it soonish. Dram says, I have a couple of different hobbies. Some like running and the gym are habit hobbies, where others are painting and music or motivational hobbies. Yeah, I guess for me, I just found I must be one of these people where if I make it like I feel like when I finish a squad of Warhammer, I feel like it's super rewarding. But I guess maybe I was one of these people where I would struggle to just be like, you know, like I'm gonna go paint tonight when I could watch a movie or something like that. So for me, it definitely helped me making my hobbies habits or looking at them in a different light, I guess. I guess maybe I'm just someone who is normally motivated by like motivation, and motivation comes and goes, and if I try and I spent so many hours on those assault intercessors, I think if I try and do it purely from motivation, I probably burn out and fail, I guess. Alex, you were in the chat. Do you want another motivational book? Because I picked up another I like reading motivational books. I picked up a new book on Audible yesterday. I haven't started it though, but I've got high hopes for it. Volcanar, how am I doing? I'm doing great, man. I hope you're doing well as well. I'm having a pretty chill Saturday. Took the kids to the park, watched some football. Now painting some Death Company with my friends. I was going to say, I'm going to be here for like another maybe 30-45 minutes, and then I'm going to have to go and settle my daughter because she wouldn't go to sleep apparently before I'm streaming, so she is still... I can see her in the baby monitor. She is cavorting around in her bed watching stuff on the iPad, so I'm going to be here till 11 and then I'm going to go deal with that. The Arnold Schwarzenegger book was great. Yeah, I really liked Arnold Schwarzenegger book. I liked it more than I thought I would. Did you read it, Marius, or did you listen to it on Audible? Jordan Peterson's books really helped you with... Okay, cool. I never actually read any of Jordan Peterson's. Maybe I'll get to that at some point. I'm very much into my motivational books at the moment, though. JT Money says a video about the 10th edition launch box with the Blood Angels Combat Patrol. Audible. Yeah, do you know what? I like it when on Audible when the author reads the book to you. I've read a few books like that on Audible where the author reads it to you. I think that's pretty cool. Like I said, I have a 35-minute walk to work every day. So Audible is like a godsend for me because I get very bored of listening to the same music that's on my iPhone, like, you know, over and over and over. I only have like 10 albums on my iPhone, so after a week I've pretty much listened to everything and I'm just like, God, I'm just going to listen to the same 10 albums again next week. No thanks. Get those steps in. Exactly, Frank. I mean, when we moved to this house, like, our house is literally, if you imagine like the outskirts of a town, right? Like, you've got the town centre and then you've got, we're in a pretty small town. But if you imagine like the outskirts of a town, and like basically the street that we are on is the most furthest street. You know, like they're always building these new houses on the edge of town. We are in one of those developments, like right on the very edge of town. So literally you cannot, the street that we are on is literally the furthest street away from the town, right? If that makes sense. It's hard to describe, but basically we are on the most out. So my office is literally on the high street, which is basically like the street right in the middle of town. It is 35-minute walk, so it's like 2 miles. Like I said, it's quite a small town. But when I moved out here, my family couldn't fathom. They're like, "You're gonna move out there, and you've only got one car?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna walk." And they're like, "You're gonna walk that every day, twice a day?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's gonna." Maybe that's what I was talking to you guys about. Like, I was like, that's gonna make me fit, right? Like, that's an hour of walking more every day, and I can't get out of it because I need to walk to the office. But that's the thing. Like, if I had a second car, I'd probably drive every day because driving is easy. And why would, you know, it's cold in Scotland, it's wet, it's windy. But by not having a second car, I actually just make it easy to walk to work because I have to get to work. If there's a bright center to the universe, you're the one that's the furthest from. Episode 4 Star Wars. What a great movie that was. Do you know what, Frank? We were watching, me and my daughter, we were watching The Force Awakens. The Force Awakens. And Poe Dameron like flies into Starkiller Base, and it's all CGI shit, and he flies around and he blows up the whole Force Starkiller Base, whatever it's called, from the inside out. And my little 4-year-old, and I said to her, "Look, Poe blew up Starkiller Base." And she goes, "Daddy, I liked it when Luke Skywalker blew up the Death Star." And I was like, "Me too, sweetheart." You've kind of made my day by saying that, honestly, sweetheart, because yes, episode 4 was the movie. Lock S foils in attack position. How's it going, G-Money? Good evening. Who's made a Lamenter's video? Vox in the Void. Oh, Vox in the Void. I've not heard of him. Or her. Yeah, proud dad moment. Yeah, it certainly was. Yeah, you've taken your first steps into a larger world. Gonna bail. James, thanks so much for hanging out. You have a great evening. Thanks for giving us the lowdown on the new Sangre Guard. Did you put your photos on Discord yet? So based on the fact it took me like basically 50 hours or something to do 5 assault intercessors, I feel like these Death Company models are going to take 10 hours a piece. Because they got tons of detail on them. And I'm going to try and do them to a very high standard. It is a battle ready standard, but still. A high battle ready standard, I guess. Add Vox in the Void to the notepad. I will do. I do like finding. I do always think it's mad that you find creators that have like thousands and thousands of subs that you've never heard of. Like, I only found like the guy Major Kill maybe like a month or two ago. Just like he got suggested to me on YouTube, and I was like, oh, I've never seen this guy before, and I watched a couple of his videos, and I was like, oh, right, why was this guy never suggested to me before? But then, Mini Wargame Dave only found me, like, this month or something, because I got a message from, like, Mini Wargame Dave on one of my things, where he was like, I have found a channel about the Sons of Sanguinius. And I was like, wow. That's why I made that. I think he actually... Did he find me before or after I made that video? I think he maybe found me like just before I made the video where I was like doing the workout with Mini Wargame by Dave. Hi, thanks so much for hanging out. McFatson, thanks for hanging out as well. Looks like everybody's bailing tonight. It's getting to 10:30. It must be getting to people's time to spend a little bit of time with the wife on a Saturday night, right? Mine's out tonight, so but I'm gonna have to go and sit on my daughter in a little bit. It's like if I give her the iPad, I tell her to lie down in bed so she would maybe drift to sleep, and then she doesn't lie down. She's sat up I can see her sat up in bed watching the damn iPad. It's like, why can't you lie down and watch the iPad and maybe fall asleep? That would be too easy, wouldn't it? It's 4:30 and I'm tragically single. You could fix that, man. But hey, maybe, you know, there is advantages to being single. You do get unlimited free time. You don't have to spend an hour lying in bed with a 2-year-old. The other night I ended up lying in bed with my little 2-year-old for so long to try and get him to fall asleep that I fell asleep at like 7:30 in the evening. Just because I was basically having to lie in a pitch black room for like an hour. I woke up and was like, oh, what the hell, have I slept my whole evening away? You know, like, because I just fell asleep. Like, came downstairs like super discombobulated and be like, how long was I up there? She's like, you're only up there for like 45 minutes. I was like, yeah, I fell asleep. Right, I'm gonna get a coffee and let's watch some telly or something, you know? Dad life is what everybody needs. Yeah, dad life is great, but dad life is also hard, and priorities are hard. I mean, that's why I don't get my second army painted, right? Like, I mean, it's probably why I don't get my first army painted in the timely manner that I would like as well, because you end up prioritizing time with the kids.
Matthew Box donated $19.99 via Super Chat. You run a great dad's channel and I appreciate your hard work as a boss and a dad. I know how hard it can be, BA.
Matthew, you generous motherfucker. What is up with you? Thank you so much for the 20. Sometimes, man, it's hard to feel like a good dad all the time, right? Like, it's hard to... Those are very kind words. I appreciate it, dude. You're a very generous person. Thank you for the 20. Being dad is the best life can get. It is. Yeah, I mean, it is very rewarding. It is tough, though, man. You know, the one thing that I know one thing that I learned, I think, or one thing that I think sometimes about since becoming a parent is like single parents, man. Like, my hat goes off to any parent that manages to raise their kids on their own, you know, like, something happens and they gotta look after the kid and bring them up on their own. That shit must be impossible, because I find sometimes being a dad super difficult. And that's that's the great thing with having a partner. You can just be like, time out, you know, tag me out of this shit. Mr. Dallin says his boys are 15 and 18 now. And I miss snuggling with them. Oh, that's so cute. We actually were thinking that the other day, Mr. Dallum, like, my 2-year-old is so cuddly now. And like, he'll just come over and give you like the biggest cuddle ever, and he can't really speak super well because he's only 2, so he says like, I love you, Dad, and it's like the cutest thing ever. But man, Please tell me it gets easier, Dustin Polos. How old are you kids, Dustin Polos? It's amazing to me how many people in this community actually are dads and have kids. I guess we all got into Warhammer when we were children and then all got out of it for a bunch of while, and now we're all back. And that is one thing that dads, oh, Matthew, you're single dad. Good for you, man. That, like I said, I think hats off to any single parent. I think that's, I don't know if I'm cut out for a single parent. I think it's, I think that's so hard. So good for you. Second army is a grey pile of shame. Yeah, half my first army is a grey pile of shame, Phil Wisp. That's the problem. Oh, look. I spoke about Mini Wargame Dave. Here he is. Here he is. He's been lurking. Hello, Dave. Nice to have you in chat. I hope you're doing well. Guys, if you're not subscribed to Mini Wargame Dave, please go over to his channel. Check him out. And I know a lot of people on my channel have been trying to get into the fitness or trying to get fitter as well. Dave's doing like a couple of like daily challenges to try and get moving and stuff like that. I think it's awesome. And like we were talking earlier tonight on the stream about like how it's hard to have motivation all the time. If you need motivation, if you need to be accountable, and some people benefit from that, right? Dave's doing like daily challenges on his Facebook page, on his Discord page. I'll show you. Do you know what? I'm actually in Dave's Facebook group. Hold on. I'll give you the link. Just move. Yeah, like that's what I was gonna say. I said that in a funny way. I don't know why I'm saying it funnily, because the group is just called Just Move. But like, there was like a corn berserker in the group. Oh, fuck you, Facebook. Everything got logged out today for some reason. I think I've got the link. Hold on. Yeah. Here you go. So if you want to join a Discord group that's got like lots of 40k players in it, trying to be more accountable, trying to move more often, trying to be fitter, then Dave's got a group just for that. And I think it's good. So, you conjured Dave by a demon by speaking his true name? Yeah, I mean, now we just need to insult Chapter Master Valric and he'll be here as well. He's dropped in before. I really want to play Chapter 5 push-ups right now. God damn it, I've actually done push-ups today. And I don't know if I'm doing push-up challenge on the live stream, Marius. I know you in real life, which makes it even funnier, Marius. How dare you? I guess if you've done one that... See, the thing is, if I do 5 push-up and there's like 10 more super chats, then I'm fucked. Dave's been doing this thing, right, where he was, one of his challenges like yesterday was like do the push-up slowly. What the fuck is slowly? Slowly. So like you count 1, 2 as you do the push-up up and 1, 2 as you do the push-up down. I don't know the science behind it, but Dave had a video on his channel that he was saying like if you do it under load, it makes your it's better for your muscles or something, or gives your muscles more strain. I'm gonna do 2 push-ups, Marius, and next time I see you in person, Marius, I'm gonna kick your Ultramarine ass. Go on then, we'll do 5. Don't anyone else, like, I've already worked out today, I'm not doing, unless there's like $100 super chat, I'm not doing any more push-ups than 5. Right, I don't know how well I'll get an angle here. I'll do them slowly, because that's what Dave was saying to do, because it gives them under load, okay? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, Right, that's definitely 5, right? But I'll just do another few. Yeah, 5. There you go. No more. I wasn't expecting to do that on stream tonight. Bloody hell, Marius, I'm gonna kill Rebooty Gilliman so hard the next time I see you. Dante versus Gilliman, it's on. Let's go. Well, that was entertaining. Whew. But hey, here's the thing, at the start of June, which is not that long ago, I could do 2.5 push-ups, that was it. So I'm only finding my way now. See? Alright, yeah, so check out thanks Dave, I appreciate it. I like the enthusiasm on your channel. I like I like the fact that there's daily challenges and stuff in the Discord group. It does help. And it's hard. We all want to sit around it, like I sit at a desk all day. I did 17 push-ups. I think I did 16 or 17 the day that I filmed the video for you guys. I'd like to get. I'm still learning. I'm still building up. I'd like to get towards like 40 or 50, but I've got a long way to go. My motivation comes from my kids, though. Like my daughter asked me, like, am I still going to be here when she's old? And I was like, fuck, I don't know. I'd like to be, you know? So that's where it comes from. It's like, I'd like to still be here. And I think getting healthier gives you a better chance at still being here, so... It's funny, you should see my YouTube feed these days. All my YouTube feed is fitness, 40k, and like Metallica. Because apparently I can't like any new bands, I just like all the old bands that I used to like. Brain started with kettlebell training. Mario says, look at that. Look how quickly Dave spreads his motivation. Yeah, I mean, I love the fact... So, I don't know if this is... The videos that I've watched from Dave, though, every video you're putting out now, Dave, has a bit about moving inside it, which I think is nice. I actually like that. I think it's a good... I think it's just a nice segment to have, man, honestly. I like it. But I mean, I know that I've been too sedentary for years, so I'm just trying to get... Do you know what? I haven't been too sedentary. It's since I've had kids, man. Because I used to do a lot of hill walking and hiking here in Scotland before I had kids, and I'm looking forward to getting back into hiking, actually, when my kids are a little bit older. But yeah, Dave, if you ever end up in Scotland, please let me know. You're more than welcome to come for a game of 40k. We'll get some whiskey. Like some real Scottish whiskey, you know? Some of the good shit. I've got a bottle that I actually haven't opened that's like well, it's pounds, so it's probably like a $600 bottle of whiskey. I got given it as a gift, so I need a special occasion to open it, because like, you don't just open a $600 bottle of whiskey because you're thirsty, right? Like, you need a real special occasion, so you're ever here in Scotland, we'll get it open. Six Minis, I love your channel. I recently started Blood Angel's Army due to lore, and your channel has helped me competitively. I do model edits and would love to do one for you. Reach out. I mean, we have a Discord, man. You can DM me over in Discord. I do read my DMs like most days and do try and reply to people because I get a lot of questions and comments and stuff. So by all means, reach out. I mean, I'm there. Like, you can't miss me if you jump into the Discord. Thanks so much for the 10.
616_minis donated $10 via super chat.
I had a real moment of fear there where where your comment on the super chat was gonna be like, do 5 star jumps or something. So thank God you didn't say anything. Yeah, do you know what? I do want to get across to America at some point for like 40k stuff. I'd love to hit like LVO. I guess if I'm doing it, I'd like to make it a longer trip because obviously it costs a lot of money for us British people to get across to America. So yeah, maybe one day it's an opportunity. I'm hamstrung at the moment because my kids are so young and they're so difficult. So I'm hoping in like 3 or 4 years that everything will... Well, I've probably been saying that for 3 or 4 years. My kids are actually getting a lot easier. I would say that we're almost out of the tantrum phase. Like, very close. Which is nice, because I'm so sick of kids' tantrums. And we're not having any more kids. 2 is plenty. I was saying earlier in the stream, I think if you're a single parent, you're amazing. If you have more than 2 kids, I also think you're amazing, because I can barely even handle 2 kids, so I don't know how anyone handles more than 2. My wife actually asked me before our second kid was born, because our first kid was a daughter, and they were like, my wife was like, if you have a second kid and it's also a daughter, do you want to try again and have a boy? And I was like, no. I was like, we'll just have 2 kids and we'll be happy. There's nothing... Like, it's 2020, I guess this would have been like 2021. I was like, it's 2021. There's nothing that a boy can do that a girl can't do in 2021, right? There's like no job that, you know, there's no job, there's nothing. There's nothing, and I was like, 1 kid is hard, 2 kids for me is insane. Hats off to anyone that can manage more than 2 kids. I know Reziel's got like 6 or something. I was like, you crazy, like, how do you manage? I'd be ripping my hair out. Maybe you just end up not caring if you have that many kids. Legguard says the Blood Angels Army box should arrive for me this month. And a big paint job is waiting for me. My first big Warhammer box. That's awesome, dude. I was gonna say, if you are, I was gonna say, like, aim for like 3 colors in all the models, so you can play with them as soon as possible. If I was like, I generally don't paint the entire big box in like a couple of sittings. I usually pick 1 or 2 units and focus on them. So if I was trying to paint like a giant box to get going, I would aim to get them battle ready as soon as possible, so you can at least play with them and reap some of the rewards. Because I feel like painting an entire box of like, how many models? 25 models or 30 models is quite a big undertaking, especially with a couple of big dreadnoughts and a couple of big characters, you know? So like base color all of them and then like shade out some blacks or shade out some greys or something, so get them into a point where like you can actually use them. Because that's one of the reasons that I actually don't do any sub-assemblies on my models these days, is because I tend to use models, you know, like these guys will get like 1 more color in them and then I'll be playing with them. And then if I don't like them, then I'll, like, if I don't like them in terms of competitive play, I'll like put them to the side and just jump onto another unit. Get it to a point where I'm like, okay, I can play with it now. Do I like it competitively? Cool. Alright, I'll finish the paint job on that one. Reziel has 3 or 4 boys. Boys, in my experience, are way harder than girls, because Like my 2-year-old, like I just find him like he just climbs on the furniture and he just wants to jump off of it. I'm like, Michael, will you stop jumping off the furniture? And then he's like, okay, Dad. And I was like, yeah, it's not the point that you're okay this time. The point is you're jumping off a piece of furniture that's twice your height repeatedly, and like, it's gonna end bad eventually. Do I use transfers? Yeah, man. I've got Death Company model right here that I actually pulled out one of my Firstborn Death Company models because I couldn't remember. It's been so long since I painted Death Company. I was like, how do I paint Death Company again? So this guy, he's got a little transfer on his knee and a little transfer on his shoulder pad. But I just wanted to look at like the colours, the height difference between the new and the old models is fucking crazy, isn't it? What colour brown is this? This is just Mornfang brown. I don't like it on its own, but I tend to wash it with Nuln Oil. I was going to say, does this guy have any brown on it? Yeah, so I mean, there's the belt, just Mornfang, and then that belt on the left will be washed with Nuln Oil. It just makes it a bit grimier. It looks like a dark leather, I guess, if you wash it with the Nuln Oil. And I'm pretty lazy with my washes in terms of like, you know, I'll just wash right, like I'll just paint one colour and then just wash right over the whole thing. Like most of my painting is pretty battle ready. Yeah, don't take him hill walking it just yet. Yeah, no, he's got a few years before we go hill walking, that's for sure. But yeah, I use Mornfang for like all their like grips on their weapons and all their belts and crap like that, and then I just wash right over the top of it with Nuln Oil. Sorry, War Thunder, what was your question on transfers? Did you see the Angels of Death? Yeah, I did watch some of Angels of Death. I must admit I didn't watch all 6 episodes. I fell off Warhammer Plus pretty quickly. I'm not entirely sure why I fell out of it pretty quickly. I think... well, the episodes were only like 10 minutes, right? And they gave you like 1 a week. Like, I don't know, man. I prefer... like, I tend to be like a binge watcher of stuff. You know, like, people all have finished the new Star Wars shows or whatever on Disney Plus, and they'll be like, John, have you watched any of the new Star Wars show? And I'll be like, no. Like, I'll have a random Saturday without my kids, and I'll watch the whole thing in a oneer. So I'm not really a person who likes, like, small bits of content like that. So yeah, I was enjoying Warhammer Plus. I think I watched, like, maybe the first 3 episodes of Angels of Death, but I really wish that... I feel like if they just released it as one big thing, I would have seen it all. I'll go back at some point, because I think they made like a 2nd season. But no, I've not been a subscriber since Warhammer. I paid for the whole of the first year, and then I never really went back after that. I think if I remember correctly, the problem I was having with Warhammer Plus is I like to watch battle reports. Because that's mainly that's my jam, right? Like competitive Warhammer 40,000. And I didn't think their battle reports were very competitive. And if I wanted to watch competitive battle reports, I'd just watch like Tabletop Titans, because I really like their battle reports. I watch Tabletop Tactics sometimes as well. I think I probably prefer Tabletop Titans, but you know, like I want to see competitive battle reports. I didn't necessarily want to see like I think it was the breaking point for me was they had a battle report with the Blood Angels, and I honestly thought that the Blood Angels army was like anything but competitive. Like, it was so far from competitive. It was just like, if I remember correctly, they basically tried to make like a Primar. This was like the first year of Warhammer Plus. This would have been like 3 or 4 years ago now. 3 years maybe. I think we're in year 3 or 4 now. So they'd made like a Blood Angels army back then that was only Primaris, and I was like looking at it and I was like, Blood Angels can't be only Primaris, you know, like they need Death Company, they need Sangre Guard, they need Vanguard veterans. And I was like, this is so far from competitive that I'm not interested in it at all. Because I felt like I was getting like, if I want to watch a battle report, I want to know some new tactic, or I want to know. Does that make sense? And I just felt like I wasn't getting it, so that was kind of, honestly, that was probably the catalyst for me to unsubscribe to Warhammer Plus. So it was just like, they released the 3-hour long Angels of Death movie cut. So what is that? That's like first season and the second season, Marius, or there was more than 2 seasons? That's what I need. Okay, so maybe I should resubscribe then to see that now. But yeah, I think the catalyst for me stop. I think that was the last thing I ever tried to watch on Warhammer Plus. Was like this battle report that I just thought was a bit of a joke in terms of like, not the production quality, but the units that were in the battle report didn't make any sense to me, and I was like, I'm not going to learn anything from this, and I guess it was the straw that broke the camel's back for me, I guess. Spike says his son is an absolute monster. What's my go-to gold for Sangre Guard? I like to spray the Sangre Guard black, then I like to spray them Retributor armor gold, and then once they're fully painted, I like to wash them with Reichland Flesh Shade. So what that does is it takes the sort of Retributor armor gold, which I'm sure you know is quite a bright gold, and the Reichland Flesh Shade gives it like this sort of like reddish, bronzish tint to it. Again, it's quite a simple technique, but I think it's a winner for me. Like I said, I like to use simple techniques to make my battle ready stuff look pretty good. I'm quite liking these grey tide pieces, I must admit, like these backpacks, these shoulder pads, these helmets. I think they fit quite well with the Blood Angels. Adams, it's nice to catch a stream. Did my second ever Warhammer game today, 1,000 points with an odd mix of units. Your videos have helped me understand a lot what I'm doing. You're welcome, Aiden. Thanks for tuning in. We tend to be live most Saturday nights. I sometimes do go out, and then we tend to be live for... No, that's my daughter screaming. Hold on. Yes, sweetheart, don't shout, please. Ugh. Good evening, James. How you doing? Redeemed says, I personally enjoy the V2 fellow for competitive. Oh, the Vanguard Tactics. Yeah, do you know what, Redeemed? I must admit, I do subscribe / watch a good bit of Vanguard Tactics. I like Stephen. I must admit, I'm not entirely clued up on all the other guys' names that are on his channel, but Stephen definitely, or the Vanguard Tactics guys in general, they do some great content, yeah. Okay, I'm just going to be live for like 5 more minutes. My daughter still isn't asleep, so I'll probably go and try and sing Moana badly to her in the next couple of minutes. Try and get her to finally be asleep before my wife gets home. Realise that I've let my daughter watch the iPad the whole evening. Thank God my wife doesn't tune into my stream, huh? She's got better things to do, I guess. Tabletop Tactics' new Blood Angels Codex Liberator Assault release video is a major reason why I'm doing Lamenters. I need to check that out. I always do like watching other channels do Blood Angels content. Because, I mean, I'm not infallible. I do miss things from time to time. So it is nice to see what other people's opinions are of rules or detachments or stuff like that. What part of their video made you decide to do Lamenters? I actually just bought the new Flesh Tearers book as well on Audible. I haven't started it yet. I think it's going to be the next book I read on Audible. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to go. I hear my daughter playing with the light switches now. I think she just heard me speak about saying my daughter and she's running around now. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching tonight. Thanks for all the super chats and everything. We'll be back tomorrow night at 8 PM UK time. 8 PM UK time. On Sunday is our army list show. So we'll be looking at Blood Angels army lists. You know, you can submit an army list to the show if you've not done so, but it's quite a big queue this week, I guess. Quite a lot of people submitting lists because of the new points costs and all that good stuff. So yeah, 8 PM tomorrow night. We'll be live for like 90 minutes. That's usually what we do. We'll try and cover like 6 or 7 of the community submitted lists. We'll give suggestions. Bear in mind, I haven't played a single game with the new points. So, but I guess we'll start seeing what people are like. We'll see what the community think that is strong, I guess. And like I said, this week I actually kind of already committed to building a Death Company list for the Death Company detachment because I haven't played that yet. So hopefully we'll play that on Wednesday night. So that should be interesting at least. Can't remember the last time I actually tried to build like an old Death Company list. It's not my normal jam, and that's why I thought it'd be interesting to do. Annabella, into bed. I'm coming to take you to bed, okay? She's not listening to me. Do you think Mephisto would fit into the Death Company list? I hadn't thought about it, but maybe I'll include him, Marius, just because you mentioned him. I don't know. I'm gonna have to... I hadn't really thought about how to build this Death Company list, to be honest. But maybe, do you know what? Maybe we'll get a submission for tomorrow. Maybe there'll be somebody submitting a Death Company list. Who knows? Yeah, thanks so much for hanging out, Spike. Thanks so much to everybody else in the chat. Leave a like if you didn't do that before you head off. It was a fun stream tonight, guys. We'll see you tomorrow for army lists. Hopefully we'll see you Wednesday night. Yeah. I am very well, Speargrass. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning. You tuned in 1 minute before the end. So roll back. It's been a fun stream. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace. I am going away to sing Moana to this child. You are welcome.